Listen to Usfiso Mayo speaks about the support that he got from the like of MC Menzisto. Danko.
Greetings, fellow South Africans. My name is Sifiso Meyiwa, brother of the late Senzo Meyiwa. I would like to thank everyone who supported us and came home on Saturday, which was the 18th, to strategize about a march that is going to take place next month on the 19th of May. Justice for Senzo Meyiwa. We thank everyone who donated in support for this march. May the Lord bless you all. So we as the family, we have decided to open a case of defeating the ends of justice against the state, against the investigators, against Baloyi, against Advocate Mchiako. Since we have noticed that they are working together in fabricating the evidence because they don't want the real suspect to be arrested, but they used the 5 accused who are in court, they used them as a scapegoat because they are protecting someone who is the real killer of my brother. So we will never allow that to happen. As long as we are alive, we will fight for justice until justice is prevailed. There's another case which was opened by Mr. Absalom Zungu. It is a case of fraud whereby Brigadier Kininda he wrote a statement, and the statement is the one that was used in court to arrest the 2 suspects, accused 1 and 2. And they used Absalom Zungu to sign that statement. All the evidence that is contained on that statement does not belong to Mr. Absalom Zungu, but the Brigadier himself is the one who wrote the statement and made Absalom Zungu to sign the statement. And he came to court and stated that he knows nothing about the death of my brother. So those 2 cases are the reasons why we are going to march. We are going to march because we are fighting for justice. So we are going to use a TikTok account which is called Friends of Meyiwa Family. On that page, we are going to update the community about this case. So please share and like this page so that it will reach many people. Siyabonga.
Hey, Tada. We are back with another video. Before we speak about the evidence for the past week, let me remind you, Guti, what was the obstruction of justice and the lies that were told by some of the characters in this case. Just watch and we'll talk about it. Danko.
uKelly, uZandi, umawabo baqamba amanga kumina before uSenzo angcwatshwe. uDumelo unezinto ayishilo kumina ezamanga. Umthoko seloke kwathi inhlo yabaleka. And enye into eyangisurprise kakhulu nengisayibuza yona ukuthi why uKelly anqabe when ama psychologist esekhona, ama social worker, uyena as a mother nogogo wengane ukuthi ukutheleza interview ingane
uChristian
ukuthi yes ukuthi ngempela yabonana. But mina as usiyabonga mina, I've tried to reach out uKelly sasikhuluma nje kakhulu
interested kule part le baqamba manga imapha manga aqanjwa uma kaKelly siqala
uma kaKelly wangitshela into enga adapt nezinto engihleze ngiyithola uZandi wangitshela into enga end up nezinto engihleze ngiyithola uTumelo wangitshela ukuthi abangena dining room manje ngithola okunye umthoko namanje usabaleka neqiniso akafuni ukusitshela ukuthi kwenzakalani yet kamakhelwane engathola enye into ngayo so yonke information abanginikeze yona doesn't add up.
So what do you think would motivate the Senzo's friends to not come out and tell the truth ukuthi umphefumulo wakho waphuma kanjani?
I think one, fear, and two, sometimes we don't know who are our friends.
Really are.
Yep, as well. Sometimes we don't know ukuthi ubani abangani bethu. Sometimes sikhetha Judas Iscariot, like Tumelo Madlala and Mtholo Sithwala. The first good question that was asked by Usiyabonga Mia is that why did Kelly Khumalo refused for the psychologist to interview the child? I think the name was Christian. Ingane Legayipi. They got Jub. And at the time when Senzo was shot, the kid was old enough to see or to understand what was happening. But Kelly Khumalo refused for the psychologist to interview him. Why did he do that? My suspicion is that the kid was going to confirm the story that was alleged by Tumelo Madlala. That story, if you've forgotten, is that Senzo Miyo was shot allegedly by Longo Thwala Ngephutha. That was said by Tumelo Madlala when he phoned Umlungu Sihlope. So had they spoken to the kid immediately after Senzo was shot or a few months or so, I'm sure the kid will still remember what transpired in the house. But Kelly Khumalo refused. Probably because she did not want the truth to come out about Longo Thwala, as well as the lies that they told as the family. Because remember, as the family, they had told everyone that they were intruders. The kid was probably going to say a fight broke out in the house and Uncle Senzo was trying to separate Ulongo and Zandi, and the gun went off. Finish and clear, that's it. Kids don't lie. Kids always tell the truth. Even if you try to make them lie, somehow they reveal the truth. So I think that is why Kelly Khumalo refused for the psychologist with this interview in Ghana, Christian. If that happened, I'm sure Gabe, we know the truth by now, instead of these fake confessions that are before court. We are now being led by Baloyi for weeks and weeks about the same thing. Meanwhile, the truth lies in the house. The second part of that video, Sebonga Mia says that Ulona, Kelly Khumalo lied as well. We know what she's a liar because she pointed out Uzamuhle Mbatha as being the intruder on the day that Senzo was allegedly shot and unalived by so-called intruders. We know Guti Umbata was pointed out by Uma Kelly Khumalo because she simply wanted to divert the attention away from her own family. That's it. She went to the sketch artist who drew up the photo or the exhibit that is now used before court to identify the alleged shooter. But when Uzamuhle Mbatha went to court, he was cleared easily because he had a solid alibi and he could prove Gutwe Group. Now he's suing the state. So you cannot trust anything that's come out from that Khumalo family because the rot starts from the mother. She lied to the police. She lied to Uprakatia Kininda and the rest. Yet, she was not charged for defeating the ends of justice. What type of justice do we have in South Africa? But now I'd like you to listen to another audio and a video where the truth is spoken up. Just listen and we'll talk about it.
Okay, sure. Siya, kumlalelo ke wayibuza le. Some of Senzo's friends who were in the house ngosuku lwesigameko, have they shared with you their versions of what happened?
Mfethu, to be honest with you, ngigcina ukubona uTumelo wayesene floor plan yakaKelly So to me it was a surprise ukuthi uTumela ngaba ne-floor plan yakaKelly. Ngabe architecture yini and uyazi kanjani i-floor plan yaKelly? Wayengi-explainela from i-floor plan idwetshiwe phansi wadonsa u-72 pages. I remember that day. Wadonsa u-72 pages. Wathi yabo mina ngangihleli la wena ehleli la kanti akazi ukuthi mina sengibuya phakathi kaKelly. Njengoba ngisho I stayed in Joburg for 4 years ngihambela le case. Ngashiya amatoho ngisebenza ngibamba amatoho amasipala ngenza le case le.
Yeah, so you are also saying uyakwazi kuboka Kelly
Nga-interview omakhelwane. There's nothing I haven't done regarding this case.
Okay, so if uphikisa i-floor plan you had access to the house.
Mfethu njengoba ngisho uTumela uyithathaphi i-floor plan yaKelly ngoba wayefike lapha for only 2 hours usenzele.
Wake wangena wena kuyona le ndlu
Ngibuya kuyona phakathi
as part of your investigation.
Ngikhuluma nomakhelwane ngakutshela nomsindo awubangwa nangalelo langa nokuthi I understand everything. I wasted every resource I have. Ngale
Police, my brother, amaphoyisa njengamanje kumele engabe abopha uLongwethwala for killing uSenzo. Senzo was shot by Ulongwethwala. There was no one who entered the house. Bese ebopha all these police who have defeated the ends of justice. Usenzo was shot by Ulongwethwala. Listen. A call was made by Tumelo. The first call when Usenzo was shot. What Tumelo, a boyfriend Kazandi, of which he didn't know by name, had shot Usenzo, and then a phone was dropped. At the background, Ukeli, she was crying, and that information was given to the SAPS. Why they do not want to arrest Ulongwethwala, I do not know. You can quote me on that one. His boyfriend, Kazandi, at the time shot and killed Usenzo Meyiwa in cold blood. We were told when Usenzo was shot by Utumel, and then we made a call back. What do you mean? What's his boyfriend, Kazandi? Uzandi, the Kavana boyfriend at the end. He shot Usenzo. And the police were told that several times by the person who was called. So I don't know with Simanje these things about make up by make up plan.
Uzizwele. That call that was made by Utumela Madlala revealed almost everything, because the first part Uti, when Utumela phoned, heard Kelly Khumalo on the background saying, Gizothini kumama Senzo. What will I say to Senzo's mom? This was after Senzo was shot, meaning that the intruder was not someone that they didn't know. It was someone that was within, someone that was with them all the time. And then the police were given this information and they did not follow this line of investigation because they had ulterior motives. Usiyabonga is at pains to say they spoke to the police several times, indicating that Tumelo Madlala knows the truth, speak to him and quiz him. But the police chose to ignore that information for some reason unknown to us. Now we are stuck with Prakatia Kininda's theory of the intruder. Yet witness after witness has failed to convince us that there was an intruder in the house. We were told that Ulongwethwala ran out and the intruder did not shoot him. The intruder just watched him and let him pass through. So what type of enkabi would that be? Clearly that's a lie that was told to the police and so on. So the police, had they taken these individuals to separate rooms and grilled them individually, I'm sure the truth would have come out immediately. But instead, they called them as a group and interviewed them as a group, which is a form of a poor investigation, because if we do so, then they'll be able to hear each other's story and be able to collaborate their lies. So that's the kind of justice that we have in this country. And I'm hoping that once Lona Wantanzi is done with his cross-examination, the defense shall bring. Because Uhlope is the author of that statement, which says Tumela Madlala phoned him and told him that Long allegedly shot Senzo Muyongi. That evidence cannot be ignored because it will help to create reasonable doubt in the state case. And remember that the state has to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. There shall be no doubt in the judge's mind that the story that was told by Baloyi, it is the truth and the only gospel truth. But if there's doubt, the court must acquit. So wherever he is, I hope that the defense has consulted with him because it's going to be a critical witness that will help them to show that the men before court were not parts of the shooting of Mr. Senzo, Robert Mayu. But we shall see ukuthi kuhamba kanjani. But as for this week, Baloyi just told us the same thing over and over. He read the confession Ntanzi that he read during the trial, within the trial, and Ntanzi debunked all that nonsense back then. But let me just have you listen to what Ntanzi had to say, and then we'll speak about it just now. Just listen, Tanko.
As one of the two persons. Now, Ms. Zandile Khumalo and Mr. Tumelo Madlala have identified you in court as one of the two persons who entered the household of the Khumalos on the 26th of October 2014 as the taller one compared to the one who was armed.
Ofakazi ababili uTumelo Madlala uZandi Khumalo ngesikhathi ke bela enkantolo bezokuthi ufakazi bakhomba ke wena uhlezi lapha yana bathi ke uomunye walabo ababili abangena lapha yana bakhumalo ngalo langa lange 26 October 2014 nokuthi ke wena ke lo owawumude uma uqhathaniswa nalo omunye owayehlomile
lokho ngikhosi enkantolo kwafanele bangikhomba bayile office namshushisi njengalokho wabe noma khoso ke bayile office lapha.
Yes, they had to point me out because they went to the prosecutor's office, just like Sifiso and Makosonke had gone to the prosecutor's office. And they claimed or alleged that the person that entered the Khumalo household had a beard. I did not have a beard in 2014.
Bathi wangena umuntu rasta wangena umuntu wayene golide angena golide ngangena rasta ngangena tshela.
And they said that the person or the people that entered the Khumalo household had a beard, had a gold tooth and had dreadlocks. I did not have dreadlocks, I did not have a gold tooth as well as a beard.
Ngafike ngakhuluma phambi kwekhoti ngathi mina la ukube ungithole ngine golide ungithole ngine rasta ungithole ngine tshela izona zinto ubuzoma ngaze khona manje lezo zinto engenazo.
I also made mention of the fact that if upon my arrest was found to have dreadlocks, a gold tooth as well as a beard, those are the things that you were going to mention in court, but I was not found with any of those.
We have already posited to you that Ms. Zandi Khumalo and Tumelo Madlala mentioned that the second intruder, who was taller, had an O-shaped beard, and they identified you as the second intruder.
Bese sishilo ke ukuthi ke uZandi Khumalo kanye naye uTumelo Madlala basho ukuthi owesibili kulabo babili abangena endlini wayenentshebe eyekhekeleze umlomo nokuthi futhi ke bakhomba la enkantolo.
Inkosi enkantolo ngangena tshela 2014.
My Lord, I had no beard in 2014.
Ngangena swayini fu 2014 kulesi sithombe eziveze lapha ekhona.
As well as the soul patch, my Lord, on the photo that was indicated here in court, I did not have the soul patch.
Well, you mentioned that they had Ms. Zandile Khumalo and Tumelo Madlala had to point you out as they came for a consultation at the offices of the Director of Public Prosecution. How is their consultation connected to your identification?
Uyasho ke ukuthi bakufanele ukuthi bakhombe ngoba baya ehhovisi kaMshushisi. ukuthi baye ehhovisi kamshushisi nokuthi bakhombe enkantolo kuhlangana kanjani?
Akithi kuhlangana kanje ngoba lapha ecourt into engaveza ngathi uZungu la i-witness kodwa esitatimende sakho kukhona ukubhala izithombe ngenombolo uzovela photo.
I made mention here in court that Zungu is a witness, but he was able to identify the photos through numbers. How was he able to do that?
Njengoba nogwala njeyile kuwe wambuza kombuzo khona anqaba wathi akahambe ekhaya ucabanga kahle ngoba wajwayeza ukugala ahambe ekhaya ucabanga.
Just like Kwabeni came for consultation as well, and you had to send him back when you had asked him and he denied what you were asking him, you then asked him to go back home and think thoroughly about this.
Well, be that as it may, the two witnesses, Ms. Zandile Kumalo and Tumelo Madala, identified you based on their own observations.
Kusekuloko ke uTumelo Madala kanye naye uZandi Khumalo kwaba ukubuka nje kwabo noma ukubheka kwabo bona base ke beyakhomba.
Akulona
Yep, Bogantan defending himself as if he's the lawyer. The first important thing that he said, when the witnesses, the so-called witnesses, like Uzandi and Tumelo Mchogo, they said the intruder had a beard and a gold tooth, plus some dreadlocks. And initially we were told that was Bogantan's. That was the line of the theory that was presented by Brigadier Delinda initially. But now, when Tanzi was taken for examination, they discovered that he had no gold tooth. Then they switched the road and said, it's got a gold tooth. So you can see the state is fabricating evidence here. And then we have in Tanzi, okay, Ulona Ozandi, Baba ne consultation in Ubaloyi at the offices of the NPA. That is why Baba was Umkomba as one of the intruders. They only identified him because they went to the office of the NPA and consulted with Baloyi. So it was easy for Zad to point out Ntanzi in court because she had spoken to Advocate Baloyi and looked at Ntanzi's photo just before she came to court and gave evidence. And that is when she pointed out with Nangulo or Angen Ntanzi after she saw the photos at the offices of Baloyi. The same thing as Constable Zungu. He went for the consultation in Baloyi's office. That is where he was shown photos which were numbered. And amazingly, Uzungu knew those numbers because he had seen all those numbers before. So Uzandi, it's a myth that he pointed out Ntanzi. No, he was told by Baloyi, this is Ntanzi, because he consulted him in his office and showed them the photos. So when they went out for the first initial identikit, I think that was in 2014, nobody could identify Ntanzi because there was no intruder. It's a fiction, it's a made-up story. But now they are saying they point out Ntanzi because they went to Baloyi's office. That was a very smart thing by Ntanzi. So he argued like he's a lawyer. And then he made it a point that in 2014, he had no dreadlocks, he had no beard. And then the state realized that there were photos of Ntanzi that were found in 2014, and it showed that he had no dreadlocks. So they switched the roles and says now it's Gaza that had dreadlocks. So Yabon, the state is fabricating as they go. They fabricate, discover, fabricate. That's the crux of their case. They have no case here. They just fabricate. Because if they had a case, then the DNA evidence would support their theory. Because if they were indeed in their house, the DNA Ntanzi and Gaza would be left emakhabetheni, esicabheni, and all over the house. But the DNA expert came to court and said, my lord, the sample taken from the house excludes all 5 men from being present, meaning that they were not in the house. Secondly, no fingerprints were found at the crime scene, meaning that the only people that were in the house are those Asibaziyo, Abokheli, Zandi, Longo, Tumelo Mthozisi, Makakheli, and the kids. So uyabona ukuthi udlala ngathi into engekho le. But sobona ukuthi uthini. Ngicela ulalele ukuthi uthini uNtanzi futhi eqhubeka ekhuluma la layela uthini.
Which name are you referring to, Mr. Ntanzi?
Yiphi udaba ukhuluma ngalo?
Uyaqeda ukufundela lona le.
The one that you just read out to me now, the witness pointing at the name Kelly Kumalo.
And why are you concerned that the person is not before court?
Into ekuphatha kabi leyo ukuthi ke akekho la phambi kwenkantolo.
Into engiphatha kabi.
Yes. Iyakuhlupha yini leyo nto ukuthi akekho la phambi kwenkantolo?
Mina into engiphethe kabi ngiphethe waphi ngihleli lapha kodwa ngihlala ngibulele bani. Yona into engiphethe kabi enhlizweni yami.
What is not sitting well with me is that I'm seated here before the court, not knowing as to why I'm seated here and who did I kill for me to be sitting here.
Ngoba ngisho abafuthi laba ngihlele nabo la ayikho into engidibanisa nabo.
Because even my fellow brothers here that I'm seated with here, there's no connection between myself and them outside.
Yes. But Mr. Ntanzi, you said the name Kelly Kumalo is mentioned, but it's not before court. We are asking, why are you saying that? Why are you concerned?
Uthi kubizwe igama lomuntu la bese uyalikhomba uthi leli gama leli uhleli Khumalo ukuthi kubizwe igama lana kodwa lo muntu akekho lana kuhleli nina lana kungani usho lokho?
Ngishisa inkulumo yakho umhlisa yasho ugelinda lapha ecourt.
I am saying this based on what the state said, saying that it is what Geninda said before the court.
Uthi umshushisi phambi kwecourt ukuza afinyelele kumsola wesithathu, umsola wesine, umsola wehlanu indaba yestatement.
What the state told the court was that
Yep. Ntanzi asked a valid question ukuthi if the statement says Kelly Khumalo is the mastermind, then why was she not charged? Because everyone else was charged. That was linked to the case. That was a very good question because if Baloyi believed in his theory that Kelly Khumalo is the mastermind, then she should have been accused number 6 and appeared in court alongside Abontan, Sibiya, Mapisa, Tuli, and everyone else. But Kelly Khumalo is not before court. Clearly, the state does not believe in its own case. The state does not believe in its own lies because it knows that there is no such thing as a mastermind. No one hired these men to analyze Senzo Meyiwa. It is a myth, it's a creation of the police as well as the creation, allegedly, of Shadrack Sibiya because he was the one that called the meeting and said to everyone in the house that they must stick to the theory of the intruder and say someone entered the house and demanded money and cell phone. And thereafter we know that Sibiya had a meeting with Chiko Twala where it is alleged by Advocate Tefo that Sibiya was given R1 million by Chiko Twala allegedly. So that is the part of the cover-up that was then built around this case so that wrong people are put before court and then ultimately sentenced to life in prison for the shooting of Senzo Meyiwa. If Kelly Khumalo was indeed the mastermind, then she would have been charged long time ago and then had to answer for the alleged mastermind role. But Kelly Khumalo is not charged because she is not part of this nonsense. It's the creation by Baloyi just to use Kelly Khumalo's name to drag these men before court. We were told that Kelly Khumalo phoned or was phoned by accused number 5 and they arranged the shooting. But that call that they talk about, it lasted for about 90 seconds. So you cannot tell me that Kelly Khumalo and Ntuli arranged the so-called shooting of Senzo Meyiwa within 90 seconds. It is a lie. The shooting of Senzo Meyiwa was never arranged. It was a mistake that happened in the house after there was an argument and then Senzo was shot. Ngephutha, as you said earlier. So this whole nonsense by Baloyi was challenged by Ntanzi. And Baloyi could not answer why Kelly Khumalo was not charged because Baloyi knows the truth. There was no mastermind. The shooter was within the house. The shooter is a drug addict, according to the statement of Umlungu Hlope. So we shall see Zunzana next week. But Ntanzi is doing all the best that he can do because he's sad now. Baloyi has been asking him questions for the past 6 weeks now. So it's a month and 2 weeks. That's long. I've never heard of such of such cross examination, but we shall see. Danko.